Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for another episode of Foundation Fest. And today I'm checking out from Maybelline the Instant Age Rewind Perfector 4-in-1, not the original. This is the whipped matte version. Retails for $14.99. Ulta's website lists this as 0.68 ounces of product, but the actual bottle lists it as 1 ounce or 30 mils, so I'm not sure which is correct. I would imagine that the packaging is the accurate one. If it's not, be aware that if it's actually 0.68, then that's like $22 an ounce. We're getting into low-end prestige pricing at that point, but I digress. We'll assume the packaging is accurate. This is described as giving skin the benefit of 4 products in one. Get the look of primer, concealer, mattifying powder, and BB cream all in one easy step. 4-in-1 makeup for a perfected skin look. Whipped blurring formula gives matte an instant perfected makeup look. Bad YouTuber forgot to turn my notifications off. Weightless feels self-adjusting shade blends into skin tone. There are only 6 shades of this. I got the shade light because the fair light shade appeared to be a pretty pale yellow undertone, and I do not go for yellow undertones. There are very few ingredients in this. There's no added fragrance. It looks like it's basically silicone and kaolin. I'm guessing kaolin clay. Yeah, so yeah, let's take a look at shade fair. Nope, shade light. Swatched against a few in my, wow, words. Swatch time. First up is today's foundation from Maybelline, the Instant Age Rewind Perfector 4-in-1 Whipped Matte Makeup in shade light. Second, I've got from Estee Lauder, the Double Wear Stay in Place in 1C1 Cool Bone. Third up is MAC Studio Sculpt in NW15. Fourth is the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator in Fair. And last I've got also from Maybelline the Fit Me Tinted Moisturizer in shade 115. I've already cleansed, moisturized, and sunscreened this 47-year-old face. I have gone in with a little bit of extra moisturizer today in the form of the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, just because this is a matte formula. I've got dry skin. I want to make sure I've locked in as much moisture from my morning skincare as possible. They say to apply this with fingertips, so that's what I will do. They say this is a whipped texture, but it's kind of chunky whipped. Let's find out, shall we? I'm hoping this does do that color matching that they were talking about, because it does look a bit orange coming out of the, wow, this, it's getting everywhere. Like it's not moist enough, kind of. Oh, I got too much on my forehead. I'm gonna take this across my whole forehead, so ignore the forehead in my initial half and half. It's getting stuck on my baby hairs over here. This texture's kind of strange. I don't know if I'm a fan right off the bat. It's kind of weird. Side to side, not bad. And I am getting some redness correction side to side. It does not appear to look orange on my skin, so it might be adjusting as they claim. It does really cling to baby hairs, so like make sure you go around your edges here and like along your hairline and make sure you don't have any product clinging to those baby hairs. Alright, let's try the other side. It looks better than it feels. I'm not a fan of how this feels, but it seems to look okay once it is applied. It's just a strange, I don't know how to describe this. It's kind of, it almost feels greasy, but that doesn't make sense because I don't feel like there's oil on my skin, but it feels weird. Maybe it's just different. It is pilling like crazy on my hairline. Oh, yuck, 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 yuck. Get it out of my hair. I'm going to try for a little coverage on the old sunspots over here. You know me and my sunspots. This matte finish does seem to be nicely blurring to texture. That is one thing I'm noticing. It's got a nice blur to it. I'm taking it under my eyes to use as concealer. Trying to get my little blue blood vessel covered up here. It does have a nice blurring sense to it. Oh, but as you build it up, it does start clinging to itself. Oh, let's hope this melts down. Melt, 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 melt into the skin, please. Let's zoom in and take a look. Like I said, I do really like the smoothing of texture that's happening. It's not doing much for or against fine lines in terms of blurring them out. They're still visible. I look at my smile lines for that. But generally speaking, the smoothing of texture is really nice. It does have a sort of powder finish. It does look like I have applied a blurring powder to my skin, which is a nice look. I'm really struggling around my hairline. It's just really gunked up on any baby hairs. It's like clinging and won't go away. It's not settling into lines. I think it's doing a nice job blurring the micro wrinkles of my forehead. So there is a little bit of fine line blurring and there's a little bit of texture blurring going on, which I do really like. It is a matte finish for sure. I'm going to have to bring a little dimension and life back into things. Matte seems to kind of tone me down in terms of dimension to the face, but we might be okay. We might be okay. Let's see how this one goes. Let's check the time. It is 12:22. I'm gonna go put the rest of my face on. I will be right back. She is licking my back. Why? I don't know. What did she just eat off my shirt? I don't know. Back with the Maybelline Whipped Matte. I had some issues with, as it sort of set down, it was migrating into pores on my chin, on my cheeks, and on my nose. So I tapped them out with a dry sponge and sort of tried to blur it all back together. It kind of worked. I feel like I'm missing some product in some places on my chin now, and so it's this texture. Let me just show you what it looks like now that it's been sitting for a little while. Like, can you tell? Even as is, it doesn't, it's not like a cohesive, it doesn't melt together, even as the product itself. So I'm having trouble with it sort of melting together to form any kind of cohesive look on my skin. That said, the other areas where it's not bunching up in my pores look fine, I think. And I don't think you can really tell at a conversational distance what's going on. I think it looks okay at a conversational distance. It's just up close. It just has some issues. And, you know, shaking it, it doesn't move. Like, you saw how solid the product is. It's not moving in here, and you can't really, there's not enough, there's too much air in it to like squeeze it. So I don't know how you would make it any more cohesive than it is. I don't know. This might not be my favorite of life. But on the rest of my face, no surprises. We got my Flower Beauty Duo, Heatwave Bronzer, Warm Hibiscus Blush. Eyes, also no surprise. I can't get over Rock Candy. Love it, love it, love it, love it. ColourPop. Whoa, dropping things. I'm on a liquid liner kick again. I was going all in with the Natasha Denona liquid liner, but I've been playing with this one the last few days from Hard Candy. It is the upside down Stroke of Gorgeous, and I really, 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 really like this. It supposedly has some lash serum in it as well as being a liquid liner. Super easy to apply. It does not travel into my crepey lines, and here's, I think, my favorite part. It doesn't dry out. Like, all the product is in this part of the brush. That you're not dipping it into here. It's in the barrel here. And I can just do both eyes without having to go dipping back into anything. And it doesn't dry out, which is wonderful because I'm pretty slow at applying liquid liner because of crepey lines and hooded, droopy outer corners and all that. So I'm really, really, really digging this. I don't even remember where I got it. Did I get it on Ulta? I don't even remember, but I'm very much enjoying it. Very much enjoying it. My lip is ColourPop, the Luxe Lip Oil in Hey. That's where we're starting out. I will go about my day. I've got to go to work tonight, class tonight. I have we'll do a daylight check-in, and then I'll come back give you guys my final thoughts. Hey guys, daylight check-in here. All I have is full sunlight because the spot where I normally do my check-ins, there's a bunch of sunbathers. Yeah, so here you go. I will say the skin feel on this is very nice. It's got a very soft skin feel to it, which I like. It's very comfortable. I am enjoying that so far. Oh, there was the sunbathers. Okay, going into work now. I will check back tonight. We'll see how this goes. 10:17 p.m. That puts us almost at the 10-hour mark. Let's take a look at how the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Perfector 4-in-1 Whipped Matte version held up. Ziva and I are here to go over the end result here. Also, I'm so feeling this hair color. So feeling it. Yes, I bleached my hair again and this is a half and half mix of Arctic Fox. It left in my brain. Virgin Pink and the diluter, the Arctic Mist. Anyway, let's talk about this. Very comfortable. Not drying. I expected it to be drying with the whole like mattifying, and if the kaolin is kaolin clay, I feared it would absorb any oils, the very, very minuscule amounts of oils that my skin actually makes. Oh, Ziva, really, really. I don't think it caused any drying issues for me. I think Ziva needs to get down. I feel like, you know, I might be getting like the very, 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 very early signs of dehydration in my skin, but possibly not. And I also forgot my giant water bottle at home and I didn't drink much water today. And so I'm going to go ahead and say this is not drying. And if you have dry skin, I think it's not a bad option for a matte. It's hard to find mattes that work with dry skin. It really, really is. So that's a plus. The thing I'm a fan of is the blurring. It is just very, very nicely blurring and smoothing on texture and fine lines. I really like that. It does have a tendency to settle into pores, and some of that I eliminated by tapping it out, but that resulted in having less product. I still have some settling into pores on my chin and on my cheeks, like that below the contour kind of area of my cheeks. I don't know why I have visible pores there, which it just seems strange, but I'm an alien, so that's that. It did hold up very well to all of the pollen and the amount of times I had to blow my nose. I am missing some product on my nose, but I think it's graceful and it's not, you know, super obvious that that happened. And it's a pretty graceful degradation. For only having 6 shades, I don't think we had any issues. Like, I don't feel like anything turned orange. I'm comparing to my neck down here where I didn't apply anything. I don't think we had any oxidation going on. I am surprised that it seemed to start out darker and doesn't show any, like, I don't see any line of demarcation, you know, other than the discoloration of my skin, which that's my skin. I've got some of that over here too, but that's just my skin. That's not the product. Yeah, let's zoom in and get a good look at this one. It's not settling into lines anywhere, which is nice. I've lost some coverage on my upper lip and my chin and my nose. Blush, bronzer, highlight have stayed very well in place. I will say my forehead bronzer, you probably haven't gotten there on the screen yet, but keep this in mind as my forehead comes. I think it got a little bit patchy, which is kind of strange because I didn't touch my forehead really at all today and I didn't wear any hats or anything like that. So I'm not sure why that is happening, but I also think it might have something to do with earlier on when the product was, you know, kind of bunching up along my hairline and I was manipulating it a lot. Maybe I removed some of the foundation. So in that regard, the issues with it not sort of melting together sooner and not sitting quite nicely on the skin to start out could cause some problems down the road. It appears that I've got a little bit of that going on, but overall I really like the smoothing factor of it. I think it's fine for dry skin. It's not settling into lines. It holds up nicely to, you know, basic everyday issues like pollen counts and blowing your nose. If I had to give a grade to the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Perfector 4-in-1 Whipped Matte Makeup, I'm gonna go B+. I was thinking B for most of the day, but I really like the finish on this one, and it's hard to find a matte that works for dry skin that doesn't make us look like crepey, dried out raisins. So I'm gonna go B+. I'm gonna give it a B+. I would like to see more shades, even though they seem to have worked some magic here with the shade matching. I don't know how they do it, but I would like to see some more just because, and it's an interesting product. It's an interesting experience. But all's well that ends well, so we're going to go B+ on this one. There you have it. Another episode of Foundation Fest is in the books. If you like foundation reviews, if you had fun with this one, give me a thumbs up down below. Let me know in the comments, what do you want to see next? What have I missed? What do I need to pick up? What haven't I seen yet? What haven't I reviewed yet? What do you want to see? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.